Morning, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. This is an impressive site. It actually really, actually if you look at it next to the truck camper, it doesn't look that huge. So, yeah, it's pretty much tiny house standards. On paper it looked larger. Isn't that funny? Well, anyway, I've got some bad news. This will give you an idea of what the bad news is. Last night, just after my framer left, we had a heavy downpour. And I'm talking a heavy downpour. I had more rain last night than I had when it was supposed to be raining hard the other day. So much for plumb and square. I ran out here, I was sopping wet. I cranked this up high as it would go to give me a bit of an angle. And I spent 45 minutes running around like a lunatic, dumping water out of the fender wells so that the tarp wouldn't be pulled off my flooring, leaving it exposed. And I ran around and round and round and round and round, trying to protect my floor, because the problem is these cross braces blocked us from putting the tarp over properly. And another problem is I have here a swimming pool, and I don't know how exactly I'm going to clear that out. I got a lot of seepage in the floor. Last night it was raining crazy enough from this direction, which is where it never usually rains from and where I had the least amount of protected area. So I was really stressed last night, running around like a madman, just trying to keep the water off this tarp. Well as I could. See, now I've got these pockets here, and it's seeping. This is not a waterproof tarp, obviously. It's seeping in places. But at least what I did is I created a channel here last night to run the water off that way, and the majority of the water then was routed off, and then I created another channel here, and then I just had to I had to just suck it up and watch this fill up. There was nothing I could do. So it was a nightmare. 45 minutes I was out here sopping wet, and it was 50 degrees. I could see my breath, so it was cold. I don't think there's any damage though. There's some wetness. I have to leave right now. I'm going to get my stove and my sink from Craigslist for my house. So I'll get back later and fix this up. Fortunately, nothing else. Just back there is where it's pooling, right on the back edge. So hopefully there's no water inside the enclosed chambers of my flooring. But this is part of life out here in the unpredictable mountain range. This was a non-scheduled rainstorm. How crazy is that? This was not on the map, not in the weather reports. And I was checking the radar. That storm was not there. Isn't that weird? It just wasn't there, and all of a sudden it appeared. It formed out of nowhere, and of course it showed up on the radar once it formed, but it came out of nowhere. And boy, it rained hard. Like I said, it rained harder last night than it did during that big storm that everybody else got, which dissipated and went around me. But work will carry on. When I get back, I have to go. I'm going to be about 2 hours, 2.5 hours round trip to go get my stovetop and my sink, and I'll show you that when I get back. It's really going to be an incredible tiny house on wheels. It's really going to be amazing. Everything's coming together, and Craigslist has helped me out to find everything I need, so it's really coming along well. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project, and my helper here, John. How's it going?
Good.
Good to have you back again.
Yeah.
You may notice a couple things different. One, there's a bright yellow ladder on the floor. Two, there's a wall missing. We had to take it off because we realized that framing the other wall would be easier with that one missing. So, and that was literally a job of 5 minutes, so it was no big deal. Now, what I've got going on over here, I'm framing the loft in based on my engineer friend's advice. And also because people are going to ask, this is up on blocks, so it is very stable now. That helps a lot. Later I'm going to use hardwoods, but for now it was just scrap chunks of what we had laying around. And then I'll shim that up nicely. And I'm going to add more blocks throughout the whole bottom of this. I found a place where I can go get a whole truckload of cement blocks for free, which I'll probably do on Monday, because every probably second or third, fourth stud, I'm probably going to go with a set of blocks underneath the whole frame of this, just to make sure that it's all strong and safe. Now, so far I did some math last night, and I did some calculations based on the weight of materials that I've used so far. And with the sheathing that I got from the lumberyard and everything that's on here right now, including the roof, we're going to have 5,000 pounds. So that's not bad. What do you think of that? We're looking at 5,000 pounds with the roof on and the sheathing up. I can go 7,000.
My 28-foot camper weighs 5,500 empty.
Empty, yeah. Well, I was looking at the weight of the trailer limitation. I can go to 7. And I'm only going to be at 5 with the walls up. Not bad, huh? Not bad. So it's going to be all right. So anyway, I'm continuing on up here. I got to get my tools, and I'm going to be framing this upstairs, but I won't be doing a lot of recording today because we're into the complicated and really confusing stuff. By the way, where's that photo? I might as well share that. Here we are. Here is what the front of the house is going to look like right there. I'm going to be sharing the photos of this later on the forum and on the blog. But there's the photo of the front of the house. Here's a rough framing of the house. This was an older version though, but it shows the loft, and I'm roughly going by that right now, sketching that in. And we have a very detailed framing. Thank you to Bert, my friend, my engineer friend, who has given us a very detailed drawing of the 2x4 framing of the house. He even put a toilet in there for us. So, with that, we're going to continue here. I'm climbing around this place like a monkey. I'm putting up the loft, and that's going to tie in the outer walls to each other and ensure that they're straight. Now, let me move this ladder. Downstairs I'll have enough headroom. I've calculated it so that I won't worry about, if I'm changing my shirt or something, bumping my hands or my head. And also I calculated for an extra inch for the floor if I ever decide to add in some flooring. So this is the bottom of the downstairs, and this is the top of the upstairs floor. And I'm going to drop in a piece of plywood upstairs, up there across this beam. I'm running floor joists this way, which you'll see soon enough. And then I'll have a big header up here, huge 10-inch high board to act as almost like a bit of a guardrail, where I'm going to put all the supports for the handrail up here. But that's all going to come together soon. Oops, somebody's waiting on me to shut off the camera so he can cut. I want to show you something amazing here. I just took my level. Now this is the tie-in for the upstairs wall. And I was just checking, and it is dead on. The level is precise. That feels good. So now I'm going to go up and start screwing this in here. You see, I need some screws. Probably won't be able to see with the camera what I'm doing, but go ahead. Yeah. Whoa, I just fell off the lip. I was looking at you and walking sideways. So John's making the front wall while I make the loft, so that we'll have a place to stand on when we put the roof on later. And that is important. Everything's a bit floppy still, but it's going to tie in together pretty soon here. It's awkward up here because I have to move the ladder with every single screw that I put in. Take this off. These are what I just got at that tool haul a week ago. I'm using them already. That's nice. I need 2 here and 2 here. Good. So now over here we've got John making the primary, most complicated part of the house is the front door with all the beautiful windows and headers and multiple pieces of wood and joists and cripples and supports and things that we can't even mention, right? We don't even know the names of them.
We just know they gotta be there.
Right? Alright, well, we'll keep at it. So there is the bedroom upstairs, framed in. Now, I left the back section open because that's where the shower is going to extend through later. So I still have to get a shower, so I haven't filled that in yet. But there's the framing for the upstairs all the way across. That's the bedroom, and that's the size of it. Give you an idea, it's going to be 6 foot long by just short of 10 foot wide, which is pretty decent. And then if we go over here and look at the height of it, you can see the framing of the floor goes across, and then it peaks out here and then comes on down. So this is the low side. So the low side I can crawl in there basically, but I won't be able to stand up. Here, well, I won't be able to stand up anywhere. I'll be able to just sort of duck. But there's the bedroom. Now I gave myself a lot of headroom underneath, as you saw earlier. That's important. Now, John is still framing the front wall, which is a nightmare of little bits and pieces and fitting and stuff. And now I have started on this wall fitting in and framing the big window, the tall window that's going to go here. And then I'll be finishing after that then the 39-inch sliding glass window that goes next to that, which I still have to go pick up. They're waiting for me. But I'll be doing all of this framing here, which is going to involve cutting one of these joists. This one's going to be cut, but I'm going to be doing that framing now. We aren't doing a lot of video yet today at all, really, because all we've done is worked on this one wall. I did the upstairs, and he has done the front wall, and I really hope we do get the front wall done tonight. That's a big job. That's a really big job. So we'll see how it goes. He's still finishing this up here, and I have just put a cut in for the window. It's going to go here, and I'm framing that in right now. I framed in the large window, and now I'm framing in the window that's going over the kitchen sink. That'll be opening and closing window here. So it's looking good. Well, it's dark. This wall took a lot of work because there was a lot of little pieces and measurements, and we had to be careful and do it right. That's framing for the window that'll be an opening window. There's the framing for the big window. We still have to put a header up top. There's a framing for the doorway, and we're going to have a window up above there. So that's another little bit of framing we're going to finish tomorrow yet. And then we've started the framing for the big picture window here. Got the framing for a slider window here. And got the loft up. But time didn't wait. We still got some little boards and screws to put in here and there. But it's looking like a house. It's looking pretty cool, I think. It's exciting now. So there's my bedroom. Well, that's it for tonight.